Hello Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to another Next Gen News. Today we're going to be focusing on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation stuff that's going on, with an apology from Sony about recording your conversations. What's the real truth for this? What exactly is going to be going down? Are Sony going to be recording your conversations on a PlayStation 5? What makes it any different from what they've always had, where you could record other people's voices in gameplay? Also, we're going to take a look at a new controversy that's literally just popped up, and it's filled with racist replies already. PlayStation Network has revealed a brand new theme, Black Lives Matter, and of course on Twitter, it's where all the trolls proper live. We're going to go over some of that as well. And on some more less politically charged stuff, what's going on with the PlayStation 5 fans, how they're actually gonna update over time so they can respond with speeds that will match certain games. It's all here, let's go, it's Next Gen News. Okay, so last week it was pretty apparent that there may be some issues with recordings going on your actual chat parties on PlayStation in the future. A new terms and conditions was sent out and it revealed that some moderation would be there. Pretty much in 8.0's release this week, party messages linked together now from now on, not being separate apps. And they've also got loads of settings to do with like controlling stuff for your kids. So Sony did acknowledge this with a proper PlayStation blog. That's because it was trending all over Twitter. They go on to clarify exactly what's going on. Following this update, users are seeing a notification about party safety and that voice chats in parties may be recorded. Voice chat recording for moderation is a feature that will be available on PS5 when it launches and will enable users to record their voice chats on PS5 and submit them for moderation review. The pop-up you're seeing on PlayStation 4 right now is to let you know that when you participate in a chat with a PS5 user post-launch, they may submit those recordings from their PS5 console to Sony Interactive Entertainment. So not really that different from what we've got now. I do believe you can always record when you're doing videos for yourself, and it gives you the option where you can opt in or opt out of your friend's recording. But obviously this is a little bit different where players can actually flag you for something. So maybe you're in a party with someone, maybe it gets a bit toxic, maybe someone knows there might be a situation where they're trying to possibly out someone for being a bit toxic, they may record your voice. Now who's this really going to affect? How many of you guys are really that freaking toxic? You're going to need someone recording a friend of yours or someone you vaguely know. So I think it's a great feature. Yes, why not? Let's have some things go along. So if people do get in a voice chat with someone thinking they're going to just hook up and play some games together, if it turns a bit weird and someone's just being an arsehole, well then yep, go ahead and record them, send that off and hopefully get something done about it. Catherine Jensen, some bigwig, says it's the sole purpose to help in reporting of inappropriate behaviour, including actions that violate our community code of conduct. Please note that this feature will not actively monitor or listen in on your conversations ever, and it's strictly reserved for reporting online abuse or harassment. She goes on to say that PlayStation gamers learned about this new function in an unexpected way, and we clearly didn't communicate this feature or explain why we introduced it, and we apologise for that. They did this because when the PS5 launches in November, it does include this new function, hence why they included it with the PS4, because you can of course talk across the generations. We should have explained more why this function has been rolled out, along with details on how it will work on the PS5 console, so let me walk you through that now. If a PS5 player wants to file a harassment report, they can include up to a 40-second long voice clip, not exactly half an hour of your drug dealing shenanigans.
You're goddamn right.
I don't know, I mean, what else are people getting upset about? That you've told someone that you really like, I don't know, putting corned beef all over your nipples? You'll also get 20 seconds of the main conversation with the other player, plus an additional 10 seconds before and after the conversation selection. Only the most recent 5 minutes of a voice chat will be available for a player to use for this reporting function. They can be submitted directly through to the PS5 console, and they'll be sent to their consumer experience for moderation, who will listen to the recording and take action. So if you're in a game with your friends, and maybe one of them friends is just really good and always bragging about how they're so cool and good at Call of Duty, why don't you try and goad them into saying some stupid shit and get them banned? There we go guys, hopefully put into bed some of the comments I've seen from a lot of my rat bags in Discord saying that PlayStation's going around recording you. That ain't true one single bit. So PlayStation have just revealed that there's a brand new theme, and I will be downloading this the moment I get a chance to jump on. Not only is it showing solidarity, I think it's a pretty cool theme. As you might expect, the comments, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of comments underneath this video as well, are filled with the most horrendous, trashy, stupid hot takes I've ever seen. Imagine if actually PlayStation really bit the bullet and actually uploaded this as the main theme for a day. That's how you show proper solidarity, PlayStation. Instead, it's a downloadable choice. You don't have to download or use this theme. If you don't want to support Black Lives Matter, that is perfectly fine. Don't fucking download the theme. But as you could expect, some of them here, thank you for helping me to figure out which console to buy. I've been trying to decide what console to buy because I can only afford one. As far as I know, Xbox hasn't shown any support for Black Lives Matter. Oh my god, dude. So it looks like I'm going to be the proud owner of a new Xbox when I save money. Let's go ruin that dude's day and make sure he never ever buys a console ever again. Just there for you, guy. You go and check ahead and read how Microsoft really did go ahead and support Black Lives Matter in a number of ways, including a hell of a lot on Twitter actually at the time. But yeah, look, listen. I know people obviously get a bit of apathy about stuff. Things go on, movements, politics. You just want a game. You just want a break from all of that shit. It's obviously not shit to the people that experience it, but like, why are you here even commenting this racist crap? Just go about your life. Don't do this. Don't download the theme. If one theme stops you buying a console because it doesn't focus primarily with your political objectives or damn right racial objectives, then I don't know what to say to you. You're in the wrong game, mate. You should invent a time machine, go back to the 40s and go and live for Germany. Now, there are some criticisms that say this is a bit late to really be doing anything about it. And with that, I could definitely agree. Maybe they should have done something a bit more at the time. I'm pretty sure, again, their social media networks were promoting the Black Lives Matter hashtag, but certainly it's taken them a while to actually do something more visual for the majority of their players to take part in. So yeah, whatever you agree or disagree, good God, it's downloadable, it's an option. It's not for you if you don't want it. And finishing off with the system updates that will optimize your fan over time. So pretty much they're going to get game data collected from their APU processing unit, and it's going to pretty much allow companies to tweak how that fan activity will go. Now this was translated because it was obviously in Japanese. GG Eurogame of having a Japanese someone to translate. Various games will be released in the future and data on the APU's behaviour in each game will be collected. We have a plan to optimise the fan control based on this data. So obviously you've seen the big fan, it's 120mm. That's a big boy. That's like I'd say one of the biggest you can get on a PC slot sort of thing. It's got 45mm thickness. It's going to have a temperature sensor inside the APU as well as 3 temperature sensors on the main board to control the fan speed. And it's these fan control parameters that Sony can tweak via online updates. So if a game maybe gets more updates in the future, maybe it increases a certain percent of the game where it's going to be under more duress, more stress, then they can use updates to control that fan speed and make sure it's getting the cooling it's needed. This does mean though that this might be even at the expense of quietness. Now, is this secretly saying, listen, we know we've been happy about the quietness and it's not sounding like an airplane taking off as was the PS4 Pro? I really hope not. I hope this isn't their backwards way of saying that, listen, we're going to update the game and it's definitely going to sound like you're at an airport taking off. But there we go, we'll take them at face value that this is only going to be very minute cases, maybe just under duress, and it could mean that obviously the most important thing, your console stays cool. And we're going to just finally finish off with the 664 usable storage limit. Is it actually the done deal? This wasn't confirmed by anyone really about how big or how much is going to be used, other than some of the imagery we saw earlier this month that was leaked. If you didn't see this, pretty much your 825 GB, well, it's going to lose about 20%, leaving you that 664. Young, yeah, fellow provocateur YouTuber is the one that's confirmed this. So seemingly it looks like both consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, are both going to reserve 200 GB for their pretty much functionality. Now the leaked image was put up on a development kit, so that's why certain people were worried or not really fully knowing whether it was going to be the done deal. There's also more blurb as well that the Demon's Souls is going to need 66 GB SSD space, while Marvel Spider-Man will require 50 GB. That's a lot less than 105 GB of memory space you're going to need as well for the PS5 remaster of Spider-Man. Again, it has been confirmed though that you will be able to choose what types of downloads you have on your console. You may be able to have just a multiplayer or just a single player. So there's all various different ways, and I'm so glad they're doing this. One factor I don't think a lot of PlayStation 5 prospective owners have thought about is if you buy a disc version, you would hope to assume that you wouldn't maybe need as much space. But of course the SSD takes advantage of the games being on its hard drive. I mean, maybe there's some witchcraft going on where they're using data speeds, but usually that is just a pretty slow affair. So in theory, what's going to happen is you're still going to have to download the game onto your SSD, even though you've got a disc. And so it really is all just about being able to sell your games onwards, or perhaps you just prefer having discs because of bad internet, etc. But you're still going to have to download them games onto the actual console themselves if you want to take more use of the speeds, like the faster load times, etc. And that is it. Quick, short, to the point. More and more of these are going to be coming in a few weeks, all the way up to launch. Next gen news. Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below. Until next time, Ratbags, laters.